The pen slipped from her fingers the first time. Not because it was heavy, but because the words on the paper felt heavier than anything she had carried in her life. The fluorescent light above hummed. The small fan in the corner made more noise than breeze. Somewhere outside the interrogation room, a suspect was shouting and a policewoman barked orders. But inside this narrow, hot room in Enugu police station, silence was loud. Ijoma sat on a metal chair, her black gown sticking to her skin with sweat. Her gel looked like she had tied it in the dark. Her eyes were swollen and red, the kind that had run out of tears but not out of pain. Opposite her, Inspector Hassan watched her carefully. He was middle-aged, with tired eyes and a neat mustache. His brown shirt had a sweat patch at the chest, his ID card swinging slightly as he leaned forward. He took the pen from the table, wiped it with his thumb, as if that would make it easier to hold, and placed it gently in front of her again. "Madam Ijoma," he said, voice low but firm, the next of kin. "This is procedure. You have to sign. Your husband is gone. You are." She looked at the form like it was a live snake. Her lips trembled. Her voice came out like a cracked whisper. "I don't deserve that title, sir." The inspector's eyes narrowed slightly. "Which title?" "Next of kin." She swallowed hard. "Wife. Anything. I don't deserve it." He studied her for a moment. "Why are you saying that?" Her fingers gripped the edge of the metal table until her knuckles turned white. She lifted her eyes slowly, meeting his. There was no drama there, just raw, naked guilt. "Because," she exhaled shakily, I used my husband for ritual." The words hung in the air like smoke. Inspector Hassan had been in this job long enough to hear almost everything. Men who killed friends over land. Cult boys who confessed with half pride, half fear. Housemaids accused of poisoning their madam. But there was something different about this woman. The way her shoulders shook. The way her guilt didn't look like a rehearsed confession. He didn't react immediately. He didn't shout or bang the table. He just leaned back and let the silence sit for a moment. Then he spoke quietly. "Okay," he said. "Start from the beginning. No lies. No forming. No trying to make yourself look good. Tell me exactly how you used him for ritual." Ijoma closed her eyes. For a second, she wasn't in that hot room anymore. She was back to where it all started. Before the police station, before the hospital, before the word ritual entered her marriage like a slow poison. Back when she was just a girl in love with a boy named Chiki. It didn't start in a shrine. It started in rain. University of Nigeria, Nsukka. She was a 300-level mass communication student, standing under the library corridor, hugging her books to her chest, while the sky poured like God had left the tap open. Students crowded together, waiting for the rain to calm. Then one tall boy in grease-stained jeans and a faded mechanical engineering t-shirt rushed under the shade, shaking rain from his hair and laughing at nothing. That was Cheek. His laugh was the first thing that entered her life. Loud. Free. The kind that made people turn and smile without knowing why. He bumped into her by mistake, knocking her notebook from her hand. "Ah, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you," he said, kneeling quickly to pick it up. She wanted to be angry, but that laugh, those apologetic eyes. Something inside her melted. They started talking that day. They kept talking after the rain stopped. Before she knew it, library corridors became meeting points, late-night calls became normal, and Ijoma turned to IJ in his mouth. By graduation, they weren't just lovers, they were partners in suffering and in dream. After NYSC, they moved to Enugu town to start life. That was how everybody called it. Starting life? They rented a self-contained Inabakba, one small room, one tiny kitchen that doubled as store. Bathroom so tight you had to plan your movement before entering. It wasn't fantastic, but it was theirs. Chaike got a job with a construction company. Ijoma found work as a receptionist in a small local radio station. They weren't rich, but they had enough to buy bread and egg on Saturdays and pepper soup on some Sundays. They had love and peace. Then one Tuesday morning, everything shifted. She was frying plantain in their hot little kitchen when Chike walked in, holding a brown envelope like it was leaking acid. His face was not smiling. He didn't crack his usual jokes. He didn't sneak up to hug her from behind. He just stood there, eyes empty. Her heart gave a small, nervous jump. "Cheek, you're back early. What happened? Is everything okay?" He forced a smile that fell before it reached his eyes. "They sacked us. Just like that. No intro. No plenty grammar. They sacked us." The oil sizzled in the pan. The frying sound suddenly seemed too loud. "Sacked? As in, your whole department?" she asked, voice already shaking. He handed her the letter. Construction company letterhead. Polite English. Ugly meaning. "Due to current economic realities, restructuring. Your services are no longer required." Her throat went dry. She sat slowly on the plastic chair by the door, the letter shaking in her hands. "So, no salary again?" she whispered. "Nothing," he said. "No salary, no pension, no anything. Just sorry for the inconvenience." He knelt beside her, taking her hands. "But don't panic, IJ. I'm not lazy. I'll hustle. I'll find something. You know me." She wanted to believe him. She forced a smile and nodded. "I know." But as the month started passing, smiling became harder. Rent didn't smile. NEPA didn't smile. Stomach didn't smile. Love alone began to feel small. 3 months later, their lives looked like someone had poured struggle all over it. Her salary could barely breathe after rent and food. Chaik moved from hopeful hustler to tired job seeker, trekking under hot sun to workshops, sites, offices. Every "we will get back to you" felt like insult. Neighbors started noticing. "Hyun, Chaika, you de house again this morning." "Madam, you don't try, oh. At least you get work." Some women for dawn run. Her mother called every week from the village, asking questions with sugar inside. "How is your husband?" "He is fine, mummy." "He has found something to do now?" "Soon, ma." But there was no soon in sight. Then came the day that turned frustration into something darker. A day that didn't smell like rituals at first. It just smelled like WhatsApp and envy. Ijoma was lying on the bed one evening, fanning herself with a carton after PHCN had taken light again. Her phone buzzed. Ping. It was a status notification. Her old school friend Adais had posted pictures. She tapped. There was Adas in Dubai, by a pool, on a yacht, holding an iPhone that looked like it could pay their rent for 1 year. Caption: "When you marry well, suffering becomes story." Odogwu wife. Another picture, Adas and her husband in matching outfits. The man looked like money in human form. Then a chat popped up. Adas: "Baby girl, send account number. Husband say make I share this small blessing with my girls." Alert followed. N50,000 credit. Just like that. No fasting, no sweating under sun, no trekking from Mayor to New Haven, N50K, like recharge card. Ijoma stared at the alert. Then at the cracked wall of their room, the tired curtain, the old plastic fan that only blew hot air. Something hot and bitter rose in her chest. Not gratitude, jealousy. Not because she hated Adais, but because life had carried Adais forward and left her stuck. At that moment, she heard Cheek's footsteps in the corridor. She quickly wiped her face and put the phone down. He entered, dust on his slippers, sweat soaking his t-shirt. "Babe, today no easy," he sighed, dropping on the floor. "I went from Ogbeya to new layout. Not even one place say, 'Sit down, let's talk. But no shaking. I know it will soon change. He smiled at her, still hopeful, still that same boy from under the rain. She didn't smile back fully. Her mind was on Dubai, and pools, and soft life. Her mind was already shifting. That night, when he slept beside her, snoring softly, she lay awake, the room hot and dark. Her phone lit up again with Odyssey's status. If you are tired of suffering, change your circle. Beneath it, a contact. Mama Miracle, life changer. And a line. Some doors won't open with prayer alone. Serious people only. Ijoma stared at the number on the screen. Her heart whispered, "Don't call." Her frustration answered, "How long will you be the one admiring other people's life?" She saved the number. And that was how it began. Not with blood on an altar, but with one contact saved in a phone, and a woman too tired of suffering to think where the road might end. If you love him, sacrifice him. Madam, what do you mean you used your husband for ritual? Inspector Hassan didn't raise his voice. He didn't bang the table. He just stared at Ijoma with eyes that had seen enough wickedness to tell when a person was lying or when they were breaking inside. Ijoma wiped her face with trembling fingers. Sir, I didn't kill him with my own hands. I didn't hold knife. But I opened the door. I opened the door for the people that almost killed him. Her voice cracked. Her breathing shook. Mama Miracle showed me the way, and I dragged my husband inside with my own hands. Inspector Hassan exchanged a quick look with the female officer standing by the door. He leaned forward slowly. Talk. Everything. From the beginning. Ijoma nodded weakly. Her mind drifted back to the moment the darkness truly began. The compound looked innocent from outside. Paint fading. Rusty gate. Quiet street in Abakba. But inside? It was like entering another world. People everywhere. Women in expensive lace, boys with dreadlocks, men with cars worth more than her entire life savings. Some were smiling, some were praying, some were whispering into phones. Then in the center sat Mama Miracle. Not the scary native doctor type she expected. No red cloth, no painted face, no cowries hanging from neck. Just a woman in her late 40s wearing a plain wrapper, simple blouse, and a calm smile that felt like trap. She waved Ijoma to come closer. My daughter, she said, voice smooth like milk. You carry the smell of suffering. Sit. Ijoma sat, legs shaking. You want better life? Mama Miracle asked. Yes, Ma. You want money? Yes. You want favor? Yes. Then listen, prayer alone cannot help you. Destiny needs sacrifice. Ijoma blinked fast. Ma, I don't want blood ritual. I just want my husband to get job. I want us to stop suffering. Mama Miracle gave a small laugh. Ayah! Small girl, who told you sacrifice always means blood? Sometimes all the spirits need is exchange. That word made something cold crawl down Ijoma's spine. Exchange. Like what? She asked. Mama Miracle looked at her like a mother comforting a stubborn child. Tell me, who do you love most in this world? The answer slipped out before she thought. My husband. Mama Miracle smiled slowly. A smile too calm, too knowing. Good. He is your weakness, and until you sacrifice your weakness, your destiny cannot move. Ijoma frowned. Ma, I don't understand. Mama leaned closer. Don't worry, I'm not asking you to kill him. I only need items, belongings, things tied to his spirit. When I do the work, doors will open for him. Promotion, fortune, luck. But something small must go. Ijoma swallowed. Something like what? Mama smiled again. Leave that part to the spirits. Just bring what I write. She reached for a pen and wrote on a small piece of paper, sliding it across the table. The list: his wristwatch, his singlet, his combed hair, his signature, his photograph. None of it mentioned blood. None of it looked deadly, just personal, harmless things. But Ijoma's heart whispered, "This is wrong." Her frustration shouted louder, "Do you want to die poor? Others are using help and moving forward." Mama Miracle squeezed her hand gently. "Bring them before tomorrow ends. If you delay, your opportunity goes to someone else." Opportunity. That was the word that tied the rope around her neck. That night, Ijoma moved like a thief in her own house. Chiki was sleeping, fan humming softly, one bulb flickering, rain drizzling outside. She crept across the room, heart pounding like drum. She opened the wardrobe, took his favorite wristwatch, the one he used to wear to work before they sacked him. She grabbed one of his singlets from the laundry basket. She took his comb from the bathroom and carefully removed strands of hair. She searched for a document with his signature, his old employment letter. She tore the part with his signature, hand shaking. Then came the hardest one, his photograph, their wedding picture. Both smiling at a future they didn't know would become war. She touched his face in the photo. Her tears fell on the glass frame. "I'm doing this for us," she whispered. "I'm doing this so we won't suffer again." But deep down, she felt like she was betraying him. She put everything in her bag and quietly stepped out into the rainy night like a woman walking into danger willingly. Mama Miracle collected the items the next morning with satisfaction. "Good," she said. "Now listen, for the next 7 days, do not touch your husband. Don't share food. Don't sleep with him. Don't tell him anything." "Why?" Ijoma whispered. "Because you must not interrupt the exchange." That word again, exchange. It echoed in her mind like a gunshot. She returned home that night heavy with fear. Chike came home drenched from hustling. "Babe, today was rough," he said, "but I know something good is coming." She forced a smile she didn't feel. She didn't touch him. She didn't hug him. She didn't eat with him. He noticed. "Ijoma, are you angry with me?" "No, I'm just tired." She lied. She slept on the floor that night, listening to his breathing and wondering what she had just opened the door to. 3 days later, everything changed. Chica burst into their house screaming her name. "Ijeoma! Babe! They called me! I got the job! Odogwu and Sons want me to resume on Monday. Double salary. Free allowances." He lifted her up and spun her around. He laughed like the Chike she fell in love with. "I told you God never forgets his children." She cried, but not from joy, from fear. That night they cooked jollof rice and celebrated like two people who finally escaped poverty. After he slept, Ijoma had a dream. She stood in a dark room. The items she gave Mama Miracle were on a table. A voice whispered behind her, "If you love him, sacrifice him." Everything burst into flames. She woke up screaming, sweating. Her phone vibrated. A message from Mama Miracle. "Exchange has started. When favor comes, something must go. Be strong." Ijoma froze. Something must go. What did that mean? Her heart knew the answer before her mind accepted it. 9 days after he resumed work, Chiki didn't come home at the usual time. Ijoma paced the room. 7 p.m., 9 p.m., 10:30 p.m. She called him. His number didn't connect. Then her phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello, madam. Your husband was involved in an accident. We are at Enugu State Teaching Hospital. Please come immediately." Her legs turned to water. The room spun. Mama Miracle's words echoed. "When favor comes, something must go." She ran out of the house barefoot, tears blinding her, knowing deep in her soul, whatever went this time was her husband. If I had known, I would never have opened that door. The smell hit her first. Antiseptic. Sweat. Fear. Hospitals always smelled the same, like life and death were fighting in the corridors. But that afternoon, as Ijoma pushed through the double doors of Enugu State Teaching Hospital, it felt like death had already won. She ran past nurses, past mothers crying on benches, past a man arguing with a doctor. Her scarf fell. She didn't notice. Her slippers almost came off. She didn't care. All she could hear was the HR officer's voice shaking over the phone. "Madam, come now, please. Just come." She turned the corner to the emergency ward, and she saw him, Cheek, her husband, her friend, her everything, lying on a hospital bed. Eyes closed, face pale. A large bandage wrapped around his head. A breathing machine rising and falling on his behalf. He looked like someone pausing life, not living it. Her scream tore out before she could stop it. "Chaik!" A nurse rushed to her. "Madam, please, calm down, please." But she couldn't calm anything. Her knees hit the tile floor. She crawled to the side of his bed, grabbing his hand with shaking fingers. It felt warm. Too warm. Like his fever was fighting death by itself. "Chaik! Baby, please open your eyes," she sobbed. "Please. I'm here. I'm here." The doctor stepped forward. A tall man. Calm face. Tired eyes. That kind of tiredness that meant he had said, "We did our best," too many times in one lifetime. "Are you his wife?" "Yes," she screamed. "Yes, please. What happened?" He sighed. There was a scaffold collapse at the construction site. 2 men died on the spot. "Jesus," she whispered. "Your husband." He hit his head. Severe internal bleeding. We stopped what we could stop, but he has slipped into a coma. The room spun. A coma. Not sleeping, not resting, not recovering. A space between life and death. The doctor crossed his arms. "We'll do everything, but, madam, you need to prepare your mind. His chances are very slim." Her heart dropped into darkness. "No, no, doctor. He will wake up. He will wake up." But even as she said it, she tasted the lie. Night arrived slowly, painting the hospital windows black. Most relatives went home. The nurse's shoes squeaked quietly in the corridor. The generator hummed somewhere far below. But Ijoma didn't move. She sat beside Cheek's bed, holding his hand with both of hers, praying with lips that no longer formed perfect sentences. That was when a voice spoke beside her. Soft. Female. Calm. "My daughter, are you alone?" Ijoma looked up. A middle-aged woman wearing a cross necklace and a gentle expression stood beside her. "I'm Chaplain Ngozi. I pray with families, especially those fighting battles between earth and heaven." Ijoma couldn't speak. She just cried. The chaplain sat beside her quietly. After a long moment, she said, "Talk to me." Ijoma inhaled shakily. Then she broke. She told the chaplain everything. The WhatsApp status, the contacts saved, Mama Miracle, the list, the items she stole, the night she avoided touching her own husband, the job, the dream whispering sacrifice, the accident. Her voice trembled through it all. "I killed him," she whispered. "Dies. It's me. It's all me. I called death to my own husband. I did it. My hands did it. If he..." The chaplain watched her quietly, not judgmental, not shocked, just deeply sad. She touched Ijoma's hand gently. "You opened the door, but my daughter, nobody forced death to enter. Those people used your desperation to destroy your home." Ijoma shook her head violently. "No, no, this is my fault. If he dies, God should take me too. I don't deserve to breathe." The next morning, Ijoma woke to the sound of officers talking outside the ward. Chaplain Ngozi had told them everything. Police raided Mama Miracle's compound before sunrise. What they found wasn't Shrine. It was worse. Stacks of ID cards, stacks of signatures, names of men marked for accidents, phone numbers, pictures, maps of construction sites, patterns of unfortunate events. On one wall, they found pictures of victims, some crossed out with red marker. Beside each crossed out picture, accident successful, property taken, body not found. They found Cheek's picture too. Under it, accident arranged, move quickly. Inspector Hassan returned to the hospital with the file. When he showed Ijoma her husband's picture on the board, her scream echoed down the hallway. Some hours later, it was evening again. The ward was quiet. The machine beside Cheek beeped slower than before. Too slow. The doctor's face when he walked in told her everything, but she wasn't ready. She held Cheek's hand with both hands, placing her forehead against his fingers. Her tears fell like rain. "Chike," she whispered, voice shaking uncontrollably. "Please wake up. If you wake up, I'll confess everything. I'll go to prison. I'll carry the shame. I'll spend the rest of my life begging. Just wake up. Please." His chest rose, fell, rose again, fell again, slower each time. The nurse turned away slightly, trying not to cry. The doctor sighed. "Madam, you need to talk to him. His body is shutting down." She shook her head violently. "No, no, he's strong. He survived worse. Dr. Tu Ian. Do something. Increase something. Add something, please." He didn't answer. There was nothing left to increase. The chaplain placed a hand on her back. "Say goodbye," she whispered. "I can't," she screamed, voice breaking like glass. "Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that." But fate did not wait for her readiness. The heart monitor beeped sharply, once, twice. Then the beeping slowed. Each sound stabbed her soul. Beep, beep, beep. Then, silence. A long, thin line appeared on the screen. Flat. Still. Dead. Ijoma let out a sound that didn't sound human. A wail pulled from the deepest place in her body. She collapsed over his chest, shaking like someone whose own heart had stopped too. "Chike! Chike, please! Please don't leave me! Please! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I'm sorry!" But her apologies had nowhere to go. The man who used to hug her in the rain, the man who used to call her IJ, the man who carried her the night he got the job, the man who had done nothing but love her. He was gone. Taken by the very door she opened. A nurse switched off the monitor. A doctor closed his eyes gently. Chaplain Ngozi whispered a prayer. Ijoma kept shaking, holding his lifeless hand, begging him to do something impossible. He didn't move. He would never move again. And the only thing louder than the silence was the truth. She opened the door. He paid the price. And nothing, absolutely nothing, could bring him back.